I would like to ask you to help me to bring to this stage some of the most powerful women in our profession, the most amazing ladies, and some of my dear, dear friends. Please bring them up on stage. Susan Sly, Lisa Grossman, Tiffany Beverly Milan, Stefania Logato, Kirsten Kirschbaum, Lawrence Slocum Lahab, and Jane Leach.
Just come and raise your glass. Slam, slam, oh hot damn. What part about it don't you understand? Wish you just freak out.
So, let me start this panel with this question. Some people think that most of the people at the top somehow magically fall into it. They get like super lucky to be at the right place at the right time, or you have to have some unhuman talent or magic wand or something. But all of you, I know all of you, my dear friends, and I know that you are those strong and powerful women who had all the challenges in the world, who had all the obstacles that all of these women are facing. And I would like you to share a little bit where you started, how your journey with network marketing began, and where you are right now. And Susan, please start.
Well, thanks so much, Marina, and thanks to this gorgeous panel, and shouts out to all the girls in the audience. Where are the ladies at? So, I was sitting in a hotel room once in LA, and I was watching A&E, and I saw the amazing Natalie Cole on there, and she said there's a saying by church-going folks, you only see the glory, you don't know the story. And 16 years ago, almost to this week, I finally agreed to go to a Starbucks to have someone draw circles out for me. And I was in a dark place. I was in 2000, on January 13th, I was diagnosed with progressive multiple sclerosis. 3 days after that, I caught my then husband, now my husband, in an affair. And 16 weeks later, I lost my business and ended up homeless on my brother-in-law's sofa. And I was angry. How many of you have ever been desperate? In the face of challenge, you have two choices. You can give up or you can get better. And I made a decision that I was going to get better, and I fought my way back. I took a job at corporate. I didn't tell them I was sick. I immersed myself in personal development. I got my head on straight, but I still didn't have residual income, and I was still sick, and oh, P.S., I was a single mom. So when Deborah, who is in the audience now, became my personal training client, I was personal training on the side. She worked on me for 8 months, telling me why I needed residual income. And I thank God, because she is the most persistent woman on the planet. After 8 months, I agreed to go to that Starbucks, and she taught me about residuals. So to answer your question, Marina, I was not the easiest person to recruit. I was angry, I was disappointed in life. I was not the positive thinker I am today. You all have someone of my caliber or even better on your list. I have an organization of 240,000 people. You all need to follow up with them. You have to believe in people. You have to get over your story and get involved with someone else's story. So that's all I have to say about my own journey.
Thank you. Tiffany, can you please share a little bit of your story?
Well, I was born a poor black child in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. No, I'm just kidding. 16 years ago, I was making jelly for a living at the J.M. Smucker Company in Memphis, Tennessee. I worked 6 nights a week, 10, 12 hours a night. And it wasn't that it was a bad way to make a living. It just really wasn't a good way to make a living. And on top of that, I had followed my father into that industry. And he worked almost 30 years for the same company. And the last 9 months of his life, they took away his short-term disability. So I watched the greatest provider, my hero, literally shrink away because he couldn't provide for his wife and his children the way he wanted to. And when he passed away, but before he passed away, my dad said that there has got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to make a six-figure income. And I said, well, what is it? This is just what we do. And my father said, look, make something, sell something, hell, just do something. And a year to the day later, I was introduced to this network marketing profession. And I have been here, sold out, and helping others become the same way for the past 16 years.
Thank you so much. Stefania, I know you have an interesting story. Can you please share with everybody?
Well, hi everybody. I'm Italian, so I'm sorry that sometimes my English is not perfect. There are some Italians in the room. Well, I actually think I'm only in network marketing for 4.5 years, and I actually was very, very skeptical. But all of a sudden, after I was living for 22 years with my childhood sweetheart and 14 years married, I found myself completely broke. Really, literally, I lost my home, I lost my car, I lost everything. If it wasn't for my parents to give them their apartment, I don't know what I would have done. And even though I didn't want to go to one of these meetings, out of desperation I went, and I was in awe after they explained the compensation plan, and I saw duplication, and I thought, you know what, everybody will understand like I did. And I went around and I told everybody, and everybody said, no. Nobody believed me. No, you know what credibility I had when I never worked. People said, oh, don't listen to that Barbie. You know, yes, I'm short. By the way, if Barbie would be real, she would be really, really tall. But, you know, Barbie gets the car from Ken, gets the house from Ken, gets the horse from Ken. I got everything on myself. I went out, worked really, really hard, and I changed my life and my boys' lives. And my why became my boys. You know, you need to find something that really triggers something in you. And every time I wanted to give up, because you will want to give up. You will want to say, okay, enough, I'm going to get a normal job. That's easier. But if you go in and work hard and believe in yourself, you're going to change your life like we all did here.
Thank you, Stefania. Well, the second question I would like to ask, and I don't know that, at least I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but I think it's a huge advantage that network marketing has in comparison to the regular workplace is inside of network marketing, women are getting paid exactly the same than men. That deserves a great round of applause, please. Because at the job, at the corporate world, women are earning globally 77% of what men earn. In the United States, we earn 73 cents on a dollar that is getting paid to men. Right now, we earn in a corporate world the amount of money that men were earning 10 years ago. If this pace continues, we will not have equal pay till 2058. So I think it's a huge advantage that we need to talk a lot about, especially when we present our opportunity to women. And on top of other advantages that network marketing has, like no limit in the leadership role, no ceiling, no nothing. So Jane, can you please tell me if you're using any of these advantages when you talk to women prospects?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the one challenge you find when you're talking to women is they feel, especially where I come from, suppressed, undervalued, underpaid, frustrated in the workplace. And they have so much more to give, but they're being held back. So for me, when I'm communicating with women, it's about empowering them to think bigger, to believe in themselves, to know there is a role for them and a place for them in this amazing profession of network marketing, and to get them to believe in themselves again. Because one of the things that I recognize and notice a lot when you work with women to begin with, when they start out on this journey, is they lost their confidence and they've been put into boxes. You know, you're a mum, or you work in a job, or you do this, or you do that. And so therefore their confidence is gone. And I think to be able to show them the power and the potential of this profession, and then to give them the opportunity, and then to nurture them and grow them and see them almost open up like a flower in front of your very eyes, is empowering for me and inspirational to be able to know you're making that difference. So, you know, give a woman a chance to be her very best self.
That's
Give
right.
a woman a chance to be her very best self, and you watch her change the lives of thousands around the world.
Thank you. Lauren, I know you have a lot of women in your organization, and you're almost creating like a movement out of it. So share with me and with the audience how you use those advantages that women have inside of network marketing while you're prospecting women. By the way, before you do that, can you please give her a round of applause, because she's running the whole volunteer crew. She's doing an amazing job, and she's not part of network marketing staff. She's awesome. She's a dear, dear friend, an amazing human being.
What have you done today to make you feel proud?
Well, thank you. I believe that we need to be the heroes that our children seek in the world. I mean, how many of you, this is the most amazing gift that we have. I mean, you look at the workplace, and they say that most of the bullying in the workplace is women to women. And I've got to tell you, I've made so many amazing friends just sidelines in companies. How many of you have made amazing friends in sidelines in companies as well? So with regards to a movement, for me, you know, it's when people can see this vision of something like, I can be part of that, you know, that we're going to really work together, and that your success is my success and my success is your success. And so for me, as a mom, if you don't mind me sharing just about a mom, I think we're all moms up here. How many of you are moms out there, parents out there? Our job, as you've heard from Richard Branson and from Tony and from Eric and everyone else, is this beautiful thing of being an entrepreneur. And I believe that our job as entrepreneurs is to raise entrepreneurs, right? To show them that there's nothing that they can't do, right? And we need to be those heroes for them in the world. So when they can see this movement and they can see women, you know, coming together and not tearing each other down, the world's going to just transform. So I'm excited about that for all of you to go out there and create your movement.
Lisa, I know you travel the world. You're probably one of those human beings that travel 100 times more than I do. But you're traveling in Asia, Australia, Europe, everywhere, all the continents. Share with everybody, what are the challenges? Are they the same, of course, as the United States? Are women not getting paid as much? Women don't have the same opportunity? What do you see around the world, and what we can emphasize when we talk to women prospects, why network marketing is a better way?
Well, I think when you travel the world, you start to realize that people really are more alike than they are different. They have the same hopes and dreams. We all want a better tomorrow for our children than we had yesterday. Everybody really does want world peace when you get down to it. But the difference between women and other countries, in America, this American dream that we talk about, that we nurture in our children, it's not American at all, it's global. And we've gotten very comfortable here. And overseas, they are not as comfortable. They appreciate and they savor and they endear themselves to opportunity, and they listen and they hunger for it. And you will meet mothers, grandmothers, who will work 5 jobs to start a network marketing business so that their grandchild, maybe, who is 4, by the way, to save money, can go to college in America someday to study entrepreneurship, knowing full well that maybe they'll stay here, but maybe they'll bring it back home. So I think that what we can take from them is to understand that although network marketing is an inexpensive business to start, its value cannot be measured. Very much like a day with your child in the park costs nothing but is worth everything. And as women, we can teach that in network marketing, you can have both a business that is limitless and time with your children that is priceless. And that is what we bring to the industry and what we can bring to women around the world.
Thank you. Kirsten, I know you have a big family, and some of the women asking questions like, can I be successful? Can I build a big business if I have kids and I have a big family and I need to work around the schedule? Tell everybody how you're doing this, and tell everybody how many kids do you have.
Thank you. I have 5 beautiful boys. Ages 9 is the oldest, 7, 5, 2, and 9 months. So this is, it's kind of becoming my thing, actually. You know, I bring babies on stages, and this is how we roll. So thank you for that question. It's so important to understand one thing, moms. Okay, are you ready? You want to be the best example to your children. You want to give them everything. You want them to have the best food and the best schools and the best experiences. And you need to lead by example. So you have to get rid of the mom guilt that we all have. I have it right now, you know, and recognize that the mom guilt is there. And what are you going to do with it? You're going to be the example to your children and show them that nothing in this world will stop you from achieving your dreams. And isn't that what you want for your children? Yes? Does anyone want that for their children? So when you stop achieving your dreams because you have that mom guilt, well, I don't know if I can do that because I've got all these kids, that's the exact opposite. To me, that's the reason why I have to build this business. So put your blinders on, get over your mom guilt, and go for it. It's not going to take that long, honestly. I mean, it's really relatively a short amount of time if you really put the time in and focus to create a massive organization in like 3 or 4 years that will take care of your family for decades to come, grandchildren and everything. And most importantly, your children will see you going after your dreams, and they will do the same. Because you want your children to do that, right? You don't want your children to say, well, I couldn't go after something because, well, I had these kids and I didn't want to, you know, that just, we don't want to perpetuate that.
Right, because like if you're not leading by example, no matter how many times you're going to tell them you have to do this, you can do this, you can achieve anything you want. And if you don't do that, if you don't live up to your full potential, if you're not chasing your dreams, they will at the end of the day, they'll say, it's like, oh, why you didn't do it? So,
and you don't have to sacrifice your relationships with your children whatsoever. My children love to know, what's the next rank, mommy? They find little shiny items and they bring me, oh, this is your next diamond, you know, and they love that. They're proud of us.
Make them part of the process, engage them and explain, because that's what we do with our kids. And we travel a lot, and unfortunately we don't have as much time as we want to spend with our kids. So we keep telling them, hey, we have a season that it's going to be relatively short, but we're going to be working 16 hours a day, so we won't be able to come to all of your games. We won't be able to come to all of your celebrations and important moments in life, but we will have this sacrifice as a family that together in the future we can have something fun to do as a family. We can go all together on a cruise and see the world and travel all together and creating those beautiful experiences, because what you want to do, you want to spend with your kids quality time, not just being at home and it's like, oh, I'm kind of like working, I'm not working, kids are kind of like around, I'm kind of like with them, but I'm not with them. You need to have the quality time, and network marketing gives you that ability. You have to sacrifice in the short term, but then you will have this luxury to spend full focus time with your kids, so you can actually build that rapport and deep relationship with them. And Stefania, I know you also have a couple kids. Can you tell everybody how many and what your business looks like and how you're managing it all together?
Yeah, I have 3 boys, and I don't know if there are some moms here that can relate, but every time my 4-year-old saw me on the phone, he always wanted to talk to me. They're like jealous of our phone calls, right? So I really did what you just said. I make them part of the process. I sat them on a sofa and I spoke to them like 3 little adults, 3 little boys, and I told them, Mom now needs you. Mom now needs you to understand that we're going to do this sacrifice for the next 3 years together. We are going to work this together. We're going to change our lives. So you have to come with me to these meetings. I see moms here today sitting down with their newborns everywhere. Can we applaud those ladies here today? They are setting an example. Because don't make your kids an excuse not to grow your business. Make your kids a reason. And now I look at them, they're so proud of me. They're so proud of my, mommy. Yesterday, Hurley was talking about, they think we are famous, But it's like, my friends on Instagram, Mom, they think you're an actress. I'm like, no, that's not it. But it's amazing. They're part of this because they're part with the victory. And then we celebrated it in holidays together. I said, Mommy will take you to the Maldives. And we spend the best time scuba diving together and going around together. And this is what you want to do. Make them part of the process.
Susan, can you please touch on that? Because I know you're very methodical and you have a huge organization around the world, and you're also an amazing mom. You're always in all the concerts and plays and games and everything. So how do you manage that?
Oh, thank you. How many of you have kids? Show of hands. How many? And put your hand up if you want to have kids. Not furry kids, but like real bipeds that you can't lock up and leave in the house for 12 hours. Okay. How many of you want smart kids? Okay, some of you don't, because here's the reality. There was a study done at a university here in the U.S. It costs on average $750,000 to raise a child from 0 to 18, not including college. So my daughter, last year, she was like, Mom, I really, really want to go to Boston U. I said, that's fantastic. Applies early decision, really smart, gets in, $75,000. I don't know whoever said $30,000, I don't know where that's coming from, $75,000 out of state. So $75,000 for her to go. My other daughter is studying in Africa. She just had a baby. So I'm a grandmother. Help me, Jesus.
Hard to believe. What a beautiful grandmother.
I'm going to be a hot grandma. And if any of you calls me grandma, just know I'm not your grandma. Anyway, so it's really, here's the thing. You want to give your kids all of the necessities, but you don't want to give them all of the luxuries. You want to teach them how to earn it. That's why I love when I see Dominic here and he's soaking it in, learning and all of the things that he's getting from this. So I'm going to give you a couple quick tips. So number one is your time is very valuable. You will work harder in corporate America than you do in network marketing, but some of you have a business and you're not treating it like a business. So I like to work in 90-minute blocks, and my kids know I'm only 3, my youngest is 7, so I'm only 3 years out of having one at home all the time. I don't use a nanny. So I think I'm crazy. You can tell me I'm crazy, I probably am. But it's a choice, I don't. So I work in 90-minute blocks, and the kids know that I have a schedule and I'm very, very deliberate. I also tell people up front, on calls, on Zooms, interviews, you may hear my kids in the background, but I'm not going to apologize for it because I build my business with my family, not in spite of them. My daughter may climb in my lap while I'm doing an opportunity meeting. If you don't like it, don't join my team. I'm sorry. I bring my kids to opportunity meetings. Kids are welcome at meetings. I feel that we need to teach children that there is a better way, and don't be apologetic about that. So work in those 90-minute blocks. The ladies have said so eloquently, you need to get buy-in from your family. Why are you working toward this goal? And the third thing is that I want to share that is so important is if you have a partner, let's give a huge round to the partners at home who stayed at home while we're all here. Okay? If you have a partner, I have been with my husband. I have known him for 37 years. We've been together almost 17 years. If you have a partner at home who is watching you do this, start acting like you are in business. Start showing them you're a professional, and at least one day a week, make sure you have that date night, because you want to raise happy, healthy, prosperous kids. You want to have rich, fulfilling relationships, and you want to lead by example, because people will not, at the end of the day, be attracted to the money you're making or your products. They're going to be attracted to who you are and the life you lead.
Thank you. One of the issues that when we coach people, we face that, and it's very surprising that women and men have huge self-doubts. They don't believe in themselves, that self-worthiness in such a low level. And you will see those are powerful, strong people making a lot of money. But when you kind of like dig down, you will see that they don't believe in themselves. And women probably more than anybody else are exposed to and more sensitive to it when people tell them you are nobody, you cannot dream big, you cannot achieve anything, who do you think you are, and things like that. And the worst part is most of the time it comes from people they love and trust. It comes from families, and comes from parents sometimes, it comes from loved ones. So how would you deal with that? Because I consider myself a strong person and a strong woman, and I think a couple qualities that I have that help me a lot, because first of all, I'm very competitive, but I'm not competitive with everybody or the world. I'm competitive with myself, because I think this is the best competition. I want to be better tomorrow than I was today. I want to be today better than I was yesterday. And that's what I'm always competing. That's why we're putting up better and better event every single year, because we're competing with ourselves, because we want to provide the best value and bring you the best of the best in our profession. But I think I was pretty much like that all my life. I still call myself like Mama Bear, because I'm very protective, and I'm very protective to people I love, people I care about, so don't you even dare to mess with them, because you will have to deal with me. And that's the way I was in school as well, so I pretty fast set up the boundaries with the boys, so they knew they don't want to mess with me. And my girlfriends also kind of like, we created a little circle that they knew that because we're part of the group, so nobody gonna touch them, because I'll protect them all. But what do you say to women who are not strong enough yet, or who didn't have that protective friend, or who didn't have that supportive family who was encouraging them and telling you're smart, you're beautiful, you can do everything you want in life? What would you tell to these people? And piece of advice, and anybody, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but who
can I
wants
just share
to?
one
Yes.
thing from, I learned it many years ago. I had about 20 years ago, I was with, how many of you know Bob Proctor? And so I'd done a project, and it was a really cool project, and I said to Bob, I'm like, Bob, I don't get it. Like, why aren't my friends happy for me? And he goes, Lauren, it's not that they're not happy for you. They're afraid you're going to leave them behind. And you're going to find a whole new group of people. Because, you know, if you remember last night what Tony talked about, he talks about, what do people want? What do they want? They want, you know, that love and connection is so important for people. And then but they have this fear of loss. And so letting people know how important, say, you know, I'm doing this for us. I know, I get it, and thank them. Say, I thank you so much for caring about me, to make sure that I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. And one of my mentors in the audience, she said, you know, you imagine there's a long line of people all the way to infinity. They say no, you said, thank you very much, move on out of the way. Thank you very much, move on out of the way. And you love them. You keep loving them, but from a distance with regards to it. But I just love what Bob said. Just remember that they're afraid. They want to be loved. And you need to assure them, to let them know that love's not going to go away, you know, in a way. I mean, you might not spend as much time with them, but I just thought that would be some advice for everyone.
Thank you.
Can I?
Of course.
I would like to say that if right now you don't believe in yourself, you have to remember a few things. The first thing you have to remember is that what you need to succeed is already inside of you. And that whatever dream that you're not believing you can tackle, God didn't give you that dream if he didn't already know you could have it. So you have to understand that what you need is already inside of you. Now, the reason why a lot of us don't believe in ourselves is because we're listening to other people who are telling us we can't do it because they don't believe in themselves. So it truly is a cycle that's going on that we've bought into. Now, something you have to understand is whatever you tell your subconscious, good or bad, you believe it. Their subconscious believes that. So when you are now in a situation where you're constantly not believing in yourself, you've told your subconscious, which is awake 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping, your subconscious is saying, we can't do it, we can't do it. Or you've trained your subconscious to say, we got this, we got this, we got this. And so if you don't believe in yourself, you need to do a few things. Number one, you need to understand that you weren't put here not to not be a success. You were put here to live the life that he put you here to live. So step into that. The second thing you need to understand is you need to get away from these dumb people that's telling you you ain't got this. Because you've got to change your associations, cut them off, stop letting them fill your subconscious with things you don't need, and just realize that they just mad, jealous, or scared that you're going to have something that they can't have. And the final thing, if you don't believe in yourself, is start telling yourself you've got this. Start looking at yourself every day. And I'd like to say play devil's advocate. I like to say, when that voice comes in my head and that voice says, you can't do it, I'm going to say, but why can't I? Well, you can't have it. I said, well, why do they have it and I can't? When that voice tries to tell me, or someone tries to tell me that it won't be you, it's going to be someone else, I'm going to say, but you don't understand who I really am and who I was put here to be. And the final thing I tell that voice, when that voice tells me it's not going to be you, I tell that voice, you need to get behind me, because the truth is he's already brought me too far. There is no way he's ain't going to take me even farther than now. So that is what you need to do if you don't believe in yourself.
And what I like to tell you, you know, I get everything Marina's saying because that's me. I have never been a fashion plate. And I love this space and I love people. It changed my life. I wanted to change others. And when I got started, women today, and we've got a long way to go, but when I got started, I was the only woman on a stage with 10 men in my first company. My second company, I was the first woman to make $1 million a year in my company. I was one of the first women to make $1 million a year in 2001, and they introduced me as the first millionaire in my